What's up, everybody? It is a rainy day, but that's not going to stop us from filming today's review of the 2018 Lincoln Continental. Oh boy, this is our first time getting our hands on a Lincoln Continental, and let me tell you, rain or shine, this vehicle is going to stand out in a crowd. Stay with us. Let's get in it and go pull it up under an awning. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Charleston Car Videos. Today we're here at Ravenel Ford and we're taking a look at the 2018 Lincoln Continental. Stay tuned with us. It's a rainy day outside like we spoke about earlier, but we got it pulled inside, not getting wet. We're going to get in depth with this car today, and then we're going to take it out for a test drive and see what the Continental is really all about. So I hope you're excited to stay with us today on this great day to be filming a Continental. So again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is my first time actually checking out a Lincoln Continental. You know, it's not every day that we see Lincoln Continentals on the road. You know, one thing, you see Cadillacs a lot. I mean, that's a given. We always see Cadillacs cruising down the highways. But Lincolns are just as beautiful, or maybe even better than a Cadillac in some cases. But for some reason, I still don't see enough of them cruising down the road like we did back in the 80s and the 90s and so on. You know, again, a lot of times you see the town cars cruising around, but not so much the Continentals. And this is such an exciting time because it's just a beautiful vehicle. So anyways, I'm going to show you the lighting on the car. We'll look at the headlights, the rims, the trunk space, and just everything, right? I mean, there's so much that this vehicle offers. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You know, our headlights obviously are LED. You have your traditional daytime running light right there, which looks nice. Now, the blinkers are not LED, and you may say, Chad, well, why is that? How can you tell that they're not LED? Well, I can tell because you can see the fade in and the fade out of the light. With an LED light, it would just be a constant shut off, shut on. So that's interesting to me that Ford did not give the Continental LED blinkers. That would have made it stand out just a little bit more, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Headlights look great, of course. They are projector bulbs. I'm not exactly sure if that's an LED light behind the projector or if that's an HID xenon, but we'll try to find that out later in the video. You do have LED down here for your fogs, which are really tiny little projectors down there as well that look really nice. A lot of chrome finish. A beautiful grille. I mean, look at the grille. Just a really beautiful grille here. If you look at the front of this car right now, I can see the Jaguar right there, right? That Jaguar, I forget what car it is, but it's one of those models. Looks very similar to the front of this Lincoln Continental, doesn't it? It does. So anyways, now other features that you have, you're going to have a lot of tech features on, a lot of safety features on the car, and we'll cover as much as we can. Again, I don't know every single thing about this car, but I'll show you what I see today with my eyes and talk about it. Just like we do have the little sensors in the front bumper, but I don't see a camera anywhere on the front of this car. Now, Ford is really big about doing 360 camera views on their higher trim level vehicles. The company that does our stickers on the car doesn't give us a whole lot of information about the vehicle. All it says on here is pretty much 2018 Lincoln Continental. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. See? 2018 Lincoln Continental. So if it was a limited or a platinum, a premium, a titanium, or whatever, it may have that right there. So that's an indication that possibly this is just the standard entry-level Continental version. This vehicle is pre-owned with 23,242 miles on it, so slightly used, but I will tell you, 23,000 miles on a 2018 when it's still 2018 right now, somebody put some road mileage on this car. So I just dropped down the garage door here so we could take a look at the actual headlight beams. You know, it's pretty cool today. This is our first time actually reviewing a vehicle inside this this shop here where they do detail at, so I appreciate these guys letting us do that. But as you can see, those projectors inside of that headlight housing, that's what helps that headlight right there kind of be straight and flat and all that, right? The projector is projecting the beam out there. If there was no projector on that headlight, it would just be all over the place. So that's the purpose of a projector back there in the headlight housing, as many of y'all know. I do notice 3 more little LEDs here and then a reflector right in there that doesn't light up. I do have the blinkers on right now, headlights on, so all the lights that this vehicle has should be technically on right now. Now while we're right here by the rim, let's go ahead and have a look at it. You have a 255 45 R19, so a Michelin tire wrapped onto a 19-inch wheel. Nice and big, right? I mean, 20 might be a little much. This is probably the perfect size rim for this vehicle, because the reason why people are buying a Lincoln is they want that nice, comfortable ride quality. When you start getting bigger rims and smaller tires, like those rubber band sized tires, you're going to start losing the ride quality and you'll start feeling all the little bumps in the road. So a thicker tire is definitely a plus. I like how the fender, just how it just kind of, the way it's designed looks really sweet. And something that's really unique about this vehicle is where the door handles are at. You know, back in the days when we went to the car shows and we customized vehicles, it was a really popular thing to shave the door handles on a vehicle because you wanted that nice, smooth look all the way down the side of the car. And Lincoln's done a great job with that. I mean, look how smooth the side body is. And I just love that right there. And then a little more chrome down here. There's a lot of pearlescence and metallics and things like that in the paint. Now, under the mirrors, of course, you do have puddle lights right under there. So when you open that door, it's going to shine down on the ground so you can see exactly what's going on. You got more, it looks, I thought this was chrome, but this kind of looks like a polished aluminum here. But it is kind of like some kind of high-grade type plastic, okay? Same with the mirror. You do have LED light right in there, kind of thin. Looks pretty sweet. I like how these point down nice and sharp. So anyways, let's keep looking around at the car. You know, big front window, right? And then I'm loving how cars nowadays are kind of giving it black here to go along with this sunroof that stretches pretty much all the way back to the second row seat. So that's what we call is like a panoramic type sunroof. It does look like it opens and it probably stops right about there, and we'll look at that in just a moment here. But Lincoln's even gone to the extra mile here to make sure that this is all painted black as well, where the shark fin is for the XM series satellite radio. Now the door handles are unique. They definitely are. They're different, and I like the design of them. I mean, it really is pretty cool, right? And another thing that's nice is when you open it, there's a button right here. The car's wet right now, of course. It's been raining all day. But when you open it, look, you'll see, and it might be a little tough to see, but there's lights right here and right there to kind of shine right in here where the door handle's at. There you go. And you can see that light a little bit better right there. So, and look at this. There's a little light right there that shows the unlock button. Cool. Solid door too. When you close that door, you can feel the weight of it, and it's just you can really hear how. Listen to that. Just how nice and it's boom. It's just suctioned right into there. Now looking at the rear of the Continental, right? Man, is it not pretty? It definitely is. These cars have definitely came a long way. You know, just as beautiful the front as the rear. I mean, it's very beautiful. Now, I like how Lincoln has given us LED lights for our blinkers in the back. I wish they would have done it on the front as well to kind of flow, you know, with the LEDs. But your average American's probably not paying attention to that so much as a car viewer like myself will pay attention to. I also like the lines and how it kind of squared off right there and jets back in and out. Looking pretty good. Now, I'm wondering if all this lights up in here. And I believe it does, but you have to hit the brake lights. backup sensors right there, and then your exhaust is dual out in the back. At least it has two spots on right and left hand side, and nice and flush in here, right? Now some of y'all would say, oh, that's not, you know, the exhaust isn't coming out there like on some vehicles we've seen on this channel before, but actually the exhaust pipes are right there, so the fumes and stuff are going to come out right here. So that's pretty nice to see. You have a backup camera and all that. Let's go ahead and pop the trunk for a minute and see what kind of trunk space we have on the Continental. Now, one thing Lincoln's always been known for is big trunks, and that's definitely no exception on this one. I mean, look how big the trunk is, and look how bright those lights are that shine all in the back. So you can see really good back here. You got one LED lights here, LED lights there, little net on both sides, very clean. Open this up, spare tire right there. Okay, so a nice big trunk. The back seats don't fold all the way down, but there is a ski-through through the middle in case you needed to use that. I like how this kind of goes into this area here where it's hidden. Doesn't hit your luggage or anything like that. More carpeting all up here, and it is power as well. You can click the remote to open the trunk, and I'm assuming we can do this right here to drop it back down. All that extra carpeting all over the place inside of there on the top and the bottoms and all is also helping with sound deadener to keep it a little bit quieter in the cabin. Now you'll notice back here, this is a pretty big back dash, right? And it seems to be we have some speakers all right here in the middle. I can kind of see them a little bit through there, but I got a feeling this has probably got a jamming stereo system. And it looks like they may have even added some speakers right in here as well. Third brake light right there. So anyways, that's the outside of the Continental in a nutshell. I think now is going to be the time to hop in on the inside and take a look around. But before we do, let's pop the hood and take a look and see what that engine's all about. All right, everybody, so our hood is popped. Let's see what's going on under here, right? Well, this is your traditional 3.7 liter V6. Pretty large size V6, by the way. Are you curious of how much horsepower the motor has? Here you go. How much torque? Here you go. So that's not looking too bad. It is a big vehicle. It's long with a long wheelbase. So I mean, it's a heavy car as well. So those specs probably aren't too bad. Now you'll notice here, that's also going to help with more sound deadening. You know, the experience of driving a Lincoln, have a quiet cabin, a good comfy ride, that's what it's all about. That's why you're paying extra for this luxury, right? Of course you are. So anyways, this all is nice and clean. Everything's kind of covered up with plastics, right? Just like that. So they're going to make sure that it doesn't get too dirty under the hood of this car. All right, everybody, so let's go ahead and open up the door here. You'll notice you still have your keypad system here to punch a code in to unlock the car. So that's, you know, that's been around a long time with Ford, and it's on the Lincolns and it's on the Fords still even today in 2018/2019. Let's go ahead and start looking at our door panel here and see what luxury features that we have that make this stand out a little bit more from a traditional Ford sedan. So you'll notice here, leather is on the top. You have some nice stitching right here. This is all looking pretty good. You got a lot of chrome on the interior. And I like how the seat controls are up here. It's just different. A lot of cars don't have that. You got memory seats. How many different powers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now we're seeing 8-way power seat there. Now there must be a lumbar support somewhere on this car. And that's what I'm trying to see what that does. That may be our lumbar support. We'll know a little bit more as we sit inside the vehicle and play around with the buttons. Speaker grill right here, pretty big. We have component sets in our door panels. So you have your mids here and your tweets and highs up there. So, you know, any car that's got a more advanced stereo system will usually have component sets in it. You have your a button here to, I guess, well, it looks like to unlock the car or unlock the door maybe. Again, we'll check these out when we sit inside the car. And then there's another one there. So, okay, so when you're sitting in this car, you're going to hit that button. It will open the door, and then you just push it and open it. You have one-touch settings on all 4 windows, basically meaning you can roll them up or down with just one click. Power mirrors, and then the door lock button right there. This just goes right through to the bottom, so you can't throw any change or chapstick or anything like that in there. And then it does have a spot here for a bottle and little cubby hole spots there. I like how the ambient lighting is right here under the Lincoln logo. Looks nice, and we'll definitely be checking out some of the ambient lighting on the interior while we're sitting inside here today, because that's a really important part of buying a more luxurious car, is the lighting as well. I mean, it's going to be a really beautiful car when cruising down the road at nighttime and traveling. The dash, like most vehicles now in 2018, is going to have leather and stitching and all that kind of stuff wrapped up on the dash. And it is a soft touch. It's a little bit hard, but it is soft in a sense. I mean, you can press your finger down, but the only softness you're feeling is from that tiny strip of leather that's up on there. You got lighting controls here, which basically look very similar to what you have on any Ford vehicle, because it is, you know, made by Ford. You have more chrome, more wood trim. The Continental definitely seems to have real wood inside instead of synthetic wood. Tilt telescope on steering wheel, out, in, up and down, leather wrapped steering wheel, more chrome, more wood trim, more leather, even kind of leathers wrapped up onto there. The Lincoln logo looks great, and you got a lot of buttons in here, from cruise control, audio functions, Bluetooth, voice command, and things like that. So anyways, let's go ahead and sit inside here, but look at the seat. You know, a lot of nice side bolsters on your seats to hold you in, to keep you comfortable. It's perforated with the leather. Got the holes in it, lets it breathe and stay cooler, and most likely you're probably going to have cooled and heated seats inside of here, and a really big headrest up top. And then, if I didn't have pointed out that it's got a moonroof or sunroof or panoramic roof or however y'all want to call it, there's one there, but look how clean it looks up top. You can't see any light coming in at all. All right, everybody, so real quickly before we get in, I am 6'1" in height, and I weigh around 215 pounds. I like to point this out on my more in-depth reviews so you can see the headroom and legroom and how a guy my size will fit and will I be comfortable sitting in the seat of this car. You know, when I was a car salesman, people would always ask me, you know, is this car going to be comfortable? You know, am I going to have enough headroom? Am I going to have enough leg room and things like that? And a lot of times people that are, you know, in their 50s and up are always concerned about back support, getting in and out of the vehicle, because if it sits a little too low to the ground, it is a little more difficult for older folks to get in and out. And Lincoln, for many years, and Cadillac has always seemed to be a brand that was more tailored to people that were a little bit older, more retired folks. And it seems nowadays they have taken both brands, Cadillac and Lincoln, and seem to have structured some of their vehicles to capture a younger audience that's probably in their 30s and all that. So anyways, let's go ahead and sit inside. Pretty easy to get in, right? Nothing to it. Let's go ahead and close our door. See how quiet it is. Wow. So we could hear the fans and all the noises out there in the shop. Not anymore. It really, when I closed the door, it really felt, again, it felt like I was sucked into the car, and it's just, boom, it's quiet. That's really interesting. I like that. You got a lot of screens inside this car too. But before we get to all that, here's the headroom. Take my hat off. As you can see, plenty of headroom. The sunroof up top will definitely add a little bit of extra headroom, because again, it does jet up a little bit more, you know, for that feature. But that's plenty of room, plenty of leg room as well. And if I were going to drive the vehicle home today, let's get our seat in position. Pushing it forward. I'd probably be right about here. I'd probably have my seat right about there. So let's see, what do these two buttons do over here that we were talking about earlier? Yep, it's lumbar. Right in the bottom of my back, kind of by my buttocks, I can feel the air pushing out and going in. So that's pretty nice. So technically we have 8, 9, 10 different directions on your seat there. Now, one thing that I noticed, a lot of luxury cars have this. The Lincoln doesn't on this particular one. It doesn't have any kind of extender down here that pops out, You know, I've noticed a lot of German vehicles like Audis and things like that, and BMW and Mercedes, they have those kind of extenders down there on the bottom of the seat for your legs. The Lincoln doesn't have it. Maybe it doesn't need it. You know, it is a pretty large seat inside of the vehicle. It is definitely humid today, and I am definitely breaking a sweat. So anyways, let's keep on moving forward here. We can't crank the car while being inside of a shop. That wouldn't be a good idea. But we will, you know, get it in some kind of mode here where we can see all the lighting. So let's take a look around, right? How do these screens look at the initial startup or power up of the vehicle, right? Well, you're gonna press this. I'm gonna tell you right now, this screen over here has a beautiful display that comes up with all kinds of, it just looks very spacious. Let's take a look. I mean, that looks good too, but here we go, look at that. Does that not look amazing? Almost like something from out of the Matrix. Continental comes up on the screen. The AC is already blowing nice and cold. And the colors and everything is so vibrant. And it looks really nice. I like that tannish color going on back there. So anyways, we'll go through all this and take a look at it. I'm also loving the brightness of all this right down here. Let me get my camera in focus so y'all can see. Look how nice and crisp that looks. There we go. And then this screen over here, that's basically, that entire display there is all digital, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and run through a few options, so hang right with us. All right, so I'm assuming we're gonna control some of this right over here. Let's go ahead and click through. Well, we're not getting anywhere with that, huh? Those buttons aren't doing anything, are they? No, they're not. So these buttons don't do a darn thing in there. Where could it be? Again, this is my first time playing around with this. I know that's volume, cruise control. Could it be here? No. So that's really kind of confusing because none of the buttons I'm pushing, those are paddle shifters. None of the buttons that I was pushing on here or here are doing anything. Oh, here we go. Okay, now when I push down, it does a little something over there with that. It moved that a little bit. Let's try this again. Well, all it did was put a compass up there for me.
Please say a command.
Hello.
Setting temperature to low.
Oh, I said hello. It set temperature to low. Anyways, we all understand what voice command does. I will tell you folks, if you get a new car with voice command, you really need to take the time to read the manual or go through the voice commands in the system there so you know exactly what to say, because it does a lot of cool stuff. You know, you can, like, let's try one, just see what it does.
Please say a command.
Fan speed up.
I didn't get that. You can say AM, FM, USB, or Sirius. If a phone is connected, you can say call.
Fan speed up.
I didn't get that. You can say AM, FM, USB, or Sirius. You can all.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm saying fan speed up, and it's not doing the fan speeds up. So you got to learn those commands, of course. Okay, let's go ahead. There wasn't really much to see over there, was there? No. So let's go ahead and take a look over here. Hit the home button. Radio, compass, connecting a phone, right? Pretty basic stuff. Climate, of course. There you go. Audio. You can run audio all through there. Phone, there you go. Connect to Bob's iPhone 6S. Also, Bob had an iPhone. Connect to a Samsung phone. Somebody had a Galaxy J7. Anyway, so you can connect all these different phones. And then more phones. I guess they had a lot of phones connected to this car from the previous owner. Art's iPhone. I would have probably taken those out of there before trading my car in. But anyways, settings. Sound, clock, Bluetooth phone, 911 assist. A lot of these features you'll see here are very similar to what comes on our Ford vehicles already. Wi-Fi hotspot, display, voice command. One thing I wanted to see was ambient lighting on the interior. to see what all will change, and I'm clicking on it. There we go. And you can change it. So right now it's on amber. Now let's see why they're not showing up. Because we do have some ambient lighting right in here. Let's see. Well, our headlights are off, so that would tell us one thing. And there you go. There's your amber. Let's go teal, red, blue, green, that color, white, back to amber. I like the blue. The blue really stands out nicely. So it's nice to see you can change all the different colors. I know some people have complained about the new Ford F-150 King Ranches and Lariats and stuff, or the Platinums that have the ambient lighting. I think now Ford on the trucks, they've made it where you can't necessarily switch to different colors on them. So it's nice to see you can still do that with your Lincoln Continental. All right, so let's start looking at some other things, right? What do you have up here? A center speaker. You've seen most of that for the most part. You've seen this. This is a climate control. It looks like the Lincoln Continental, at least this version of it, only has heated seats, no cooled seats. You have this here, which you can open up, and you'll have 2 USB ports down there and a 12 volt. And that's about the only plugins you have. There is a nice felt lining in here, which is nice to see. Right here, cup holders, little storage spot to throw things there, and you can do that right there if you'd like to, which is pretty nice. And then a nice big center armrest here for both people. It does not move forward or back or anything like that, but it does open, and you have another spot to put things there, and then that opens up. I like that it has an LED light there, and then it does have another USB port, right, or not a USB, it does have another 12 volt there, and that's about it. So all you're getting in there in the junk drawer, as they would say, is a 12 volt. So your 2 USBs are just in here. Passenger side, very similar to driver side when it comes to, you know, seat controls and all that. So it doesn't look like Lincoln's taken away the power seats or the lumbar support for this side. So it's nice to see that you're still getting a lumbar support over there. This looks good. Your glove box, you can lock it up if you need to. You can open it up. It's got felt lining in it, so it's not just plastic, and pretty big storage area there. Up top, you have your rear view mirror, which is pretty simple. Again, nothing really crazy about the rear view mirror. Some of the new Cadillacs and things like that are having more of a digital mirror where it's actually just a video screen, and you could have a regular mirror on it or a video screen. You can click a button and do that. I don't think Ford has necessarily put that technology on their vehicles just yet. You do have your traditional home link up here. You have sunglass holders right there, just one, and you have interior LED lights that are super bright, which is nice. And then you have your sunroof controls here. Let's go ahead and open this up so y'all can see. And it should slide all the way back to the second row seats back there. And yes, it does. It's definitely getting a bit humid inside the car right now. So let's go ahead and try opening this up and see how far it goes back. And wow, that is a really massive sunroof up top. It's big. The only thing I find interesting about it is that's as wide as it opens. I guess so. So it doesn't go back any more than that. It does have this here to keep debris and all that kind of stuff from getting in the car. Anyways, we'll leave it open for a minute and just keep some of the warm air out, or let it go out. You do have lights in your vanity mirrors, handles above the windows, lights here as well, handle up there, and all that's pretty simple for the most part. Let's go in the back there and take a look and see what amenities we have for people cruising around in the back. So that door opens up pretty wide, doesn't it? It does. That's a nice big wide door. Yeah, it's a big car, and looks like same exact setup on your doors. Just hit a button to open, and door lock button here, window here. You say, well, why do they have a door lock button in the back? Because if you are being chauffeured around, let's say you got yourself a driver, you know, you may want to unlock it and lock it, because he'll pull up at your destination and stop, and you'll just hit the unlock button when you're ready to get out. Let's go ahead and sit in the back and see what's going on back here. So, I mean, right away, a lot of leg room. That's always nice to see. Plenty of it. I mean, that's a lot. Okay, about like that. Let's go ahead and close this up. You have a little hanger right here. You could rest your arm right there. You can rest your arm down here. Another speaker component set. Your lights right there. Another hanger here. Handle there. And a pretty nice view for the most part. I mean, that bar right there does definitely take away from looking out the window, right? I mean, it definitely does. And with that open, it really kind of obstructs your view of outside. So I think the best view you're going to have of enjoying that massive roof up there is having that closed. Other than that, you got your vents right here. A little storage spot there that you could probably lay your phone in here. And down bottom there, you have a USB and a 110 volt, 150 watt max outlet. You have spots to store things behind the seats. And a pretty comfortable back seat back here. Not bad. A lot of headroom. And yes, Ford has done it again. They've done a great job on the rear armrest. Again, I've always said this is not a cup rest, it's a armrest. Some other manufacturers put cup holders on the top of the armrests, and Ford's pretty good about not doing that. And it does have some storage in there, like that. If you want to have cup holders, you will press in. Well, right, well, this is, there we go, it was sticking a little bit, but there's your cup holders right there. Pretty big and pretty solid plastic here to make sure things stay in there really well. Okay, and there's your ski through, which is kind of tiny for the most part. I don't know what all you're going to get through the back of there, but you could get something through there, I guess. Maybe some golf clubs. And it does have child seat holders there, because I know some people driving Continentals will have kids in the back in their child seat. And you'll notice on the roof line here, it's kind of cut out right at the top to give you a little more headroom, and I'll demonstrate that. Plenty of headroom with a guy that's 6'1". A guy that's 6'5", 6'7", and up, even, you know, they may have enough leg room in here, but definitely still headroom will be pretty tight for a guy that's 6'5" and up. I think 6'3", you're going to be about like here, but a guy that's 6 foot like me, we're okay. You know, I've cut my hair down short just for these reviews so y'all can see, you know, the headrooms and all that, and I think we're good to go there. Yeah, all right, we're good to go. So headroom's not bad, and I don't feel too claustrophobic in the back. The windows are nice and big, and what a beautiful cockpit to the Lincoln Continental. All right, everybody, I hope you have enjoyed the review this far. What an awesome car, the Lincoln Continental. Really good looking. And man, look at that car back there, the old Mustang. It's pretty sweet too, isn't it? Yeah, I like my Fords and I like my Lincolns. Anyways, we're gonna start wrapping things up though, because the new 2019 Silverado all new body style just arrived at our Chevrolet store down the street. I just got the message and I said, oh, we got to go down there pretty quick to go check it out, because this is a big deal. So with that being said, we're going to pull out the Lincoln Continental. I'm going to cruise it around a little bit out here on the property, let y'all get my opinion on how it feels just cruising around, and that'll be about it for today. I hope you enjoyed what we've done so far, and if you got any questions or comments about anything, please feel free to put them down in the comments section. And as always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your boy Chad. Anyways, thank you so much. Let's hop in the car. Let's get on out of here.